What it is, YouTube muscly folks, it is bench press day. Windler 531 is the program I'm on. This is my 5+ heavy set, 210 pounds. I got 3 reps. For those of you who are not regular subscribers, I'm on a cut right now. So the Windler 531 programming, I consider it a victory if I don't have to reset, just because I've been losing weight pretty swiftly. I was 172 when I started, maybe about 2.5, 3 weeks ago, and I'm like 163, I think,
That's what I'm doing
today. So it's been pretty precipitous weight loss. I won't be going too much longer on it, and then I'll turn back and I'll bulk through the summer. So I'm just hoping not to have to, lose too much strength on the cut, and I feel like that's what will genetically signal my body to cling to this muscles, losing pounds. That way it'll favor the reduction of fat over muscle, so that I won't become skinnier than I already am, muscle-wise. But a broader point I want to discuss today, a little bit of a rant, quasi-rant situation, centers around Planet Fitness's no-grunting rule in particular. Because grunting, first of all, for a lot of people, is sort of a nervous system process that goes with a combination maybe of sudden increased breathing, forceful breathing, in the context of bracing the core. In some cases, with some amounts of weight, it may just force anyone, and it's not necessarily amounts of weight, but it's percentages of your 1 rep max. So, in a sense, I would argue that the person who's most likely to be able to get a good workout while ignoring the no grunting rule at Planet Fitness, it would be someone who is extremely fit and has the ability on the exercises to really regulate their breathing while also doing a challenging exercise. So for somebody who's very new to exercise and they come in and they're told they can't grunt and whatever, I mean, they're not even sure how to do some of these exercises, and they don't know which way to breathe. I mean, as a trainer, I see it in clients like haven't really lifted weights. I'll see them trying to figure out how to regulate their breathing, and they'll make a huge mistake while they're in the middle of it, and then they'll have to like gasp, and then they're nervous already, and they're getting weird noise just because they're like, I mean, they're uncomfortable in a million different ways. They can't really control their body or their mind at that moment. All these weird chemicals are getting unleashed into their brain. A beginner under those kind of rules is facing a much more tyrannical situation. I mean, now somebody who's experienced and trained is going to be annoyed more quickly by the grunting rule, because they're going to have realized that you can't lift any serious amount of weight relative to your 1 rep max without making noises. I mean, it's just, particularly as you get close to failure, sometimes that grunting is just your body using those, that type of reverberation to help it contract the core, to save you the energy of having to contract it with a lot more of the, I mean, just like, it's kind of like, I feel like your nervous system is kind of like a wire in a certain sense when you're doing a really heavy movement that requires most of your body. I think it like runs just a harder electrical signal to everything. So to the degree that you can use everything to support the activity, such as using grunting to increase the, to brace your core, to help you contract your TVA, and to help you move air more quickly from one part of the body to another. All stuff you should take advantage of when you're lifting, and to not do so is a bit dangerous. It could cause your back to get injured under a squat. It could cause your back to get injured under a deadlift, definitely, if you were so concerned about noises that you're making that you didn't grunt at all while performing those movements. And people do and especially leg press. I think leg press, sometimes you can kind of grunt and it'll kind of bring your abs out and make a big giant block with your abs, and that's kind of like a really strong position that, in case the sled goes a little bit too far back and kind of rolls back and makes your hips roll up, your core being like a block like that would, kind of prevent your back from giving way. So that's kind of like a benefit for your back health. In concert with, and when you consider that they don't allow people to drop the weights, when you're doing dumbbell bench and you can't drop the weights, it's like you can never do a challenging weight because you're scared. If you don't go for a rep and you can't get it, you can't drop the weights to the side, and that's a safety issue. Like from there, if you're not allowed to drop it, how are you going to get up? Are people going to have to try to snap their back doing a weird incline chest sit-up thing, or I mean, that definitely also hurts a newbie more than it hurts somebody that's been there for a while, because people that's been there for a while know how to, they can do like drop sets or 60 reps or something and get a intense burn without having to use anything close to a weight that they would ever have to drop. But somebody who's new, honestly, any weight is one that's hard for them not to drop. Like people who are bench pressing 10 and 15 pounds, like females, for example, who are new, that's going to be really hard on them. Like, comment, and subscribe. Appreciate all your time.